Oh, what's happening? What up? What it do? That's for sure. But everybody in my city say, what up, doe? What's happening? What up? What up, doe? But everybody in my city say, what up, doe? Man, I'm having a night, y'all. Yeah. Big M salute. If you're by your phone, you might not be because I know I'm late. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, how are you, Big M? Salute.
Salute. I'm okay. It's been a day.
Virtual hug. Um, we'll talk. Uh, hold on. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, 1976, allowance is made for the fair use for the purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, and scholarship, and research, y'all. Doo 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 doo. Man, Big M, yeah, I gotta talk to you too, man. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Y'all heard me say it. Y'all saw me say it. It's in the description. It's in the chat. You know the rest. Uh, uh, Shout out to the replay gang. Let yours truly know. And Big M, let us know what you think. We can agree to disagree, or we could disagree, you know, and we could just keep it moving because we're family, and we grown over here. It's all love over here. It's real smooth, cool, and true over here, Bushwatchers, I see y'all. Yeah, y'all. If you happen to, um, hit that report button at the same time, just please, real smooth, like real cool, like hit that thumbs up button for yours truly and the biggest M I know, Um, Miss Jackson, hey, what's up? Salute, salute. I know you being real smooth with it, cool with it, true with it. Salute, salute, salute. Shell baby with the ranch. What's going on? Salute, salute. She says hello. JJ Big M and Miss Jackson, blessings to you all. Blessings to you too, man. I hope you feel better. Shelby's back sick, Big M.
Oh, she's back sick?
She said she wasn't feeling better.
Oh, I'm
Oh, I'm
sorry. I hope
sorry.
you feel better. Hey, Miss Jackson.
Are you for real? I'm just kidding.
Okay. I
All
was
right,
just.
y'all.
Wait.
What?
Oh, I guess I'm going to say real quick. Because, I've been checking. Rory has been in jail all this time, right? And so I was like, yeah, why is Rory is in jail for just $1,000? Then 2 days ago, Kawana said that Rory beat up Jarvis in prison. He finally got told to Jarvis. That's why Rory's been in jail trying to get to Jarvis. He remember when I told him when he first got arrested, he has been in jail. He has not bonded out. He only owes $1,000 and didn't get a teller. He didn't want to bond out.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. 10% of 10,000 was his bond. That's crazy. Yeah. Um. Well, if Wayne County was dumb enough to, put them together, that's on them. Shit, it is. Shit. That's that. I believe it. Shit, they're so damn sloppy in there. Hell yeah. That's still not gonna find Nazaya.
No.
Maybe they can beat it out of him. But yeah, I did hear. I heard it. I heard it all. I be hearing things and things, but Big M and Show Baby, and she even seen it. Like, it is insane how crazy it is, and you know, I, it's just There's a lot of things out here that could be addressed, so that baby girl can rest in peace. You know, But I'm glad. I'm praying for Shorty. I'm praying he can get it together, and I'm praying for all the family shit. You know what I'm saying? And may Nazaya rest in peace for real. And I hope Jarvis rots to fucking hell. And whatever he gets, hell yeah. I'm for it. I don't condone violence, but it ain't me, you know. And then that's between him and God, you know.
Well, I condone violence. They should have whipped his ass. They should have been whipped his ass.
Right, they should have been for real. And for one, like if either they did it on purpose because they're just Detroit or they're really that damn sloppy. And but I'm just confused. How the fuck was Vari on the same level as Jarvis? Because there is levels to that shit.
Wayne County is corrupt. I don't know how that just happened, but
No, I think they put Shorty in there with it. They like fuck it. They probably betted on it and everything, like Mike Vick with the dogs. I promise you, that's exactly what they did. They're like, all right, bet, and they bet on that shit. Guarantee you, that's exactly how it went down. Welcome to Detroit.
yep.
But so on to the, this story, this demonstration. I was on the phone with someone near and dear to my heart. Not a very few, and we started talking. We were talking about everything, and some reason this came up, and I was like, damn. And then I remember she had asked me what year was it, and off the top of my head I was like 2010, I think. You know what I'm saying? But I had like watched this case so much, and I feel like sometimes I have like a photographic memory. And I looked it up. I was like, damn. Uh, it's just crazy. That story right there. And then crazy. I searched it 4 days ago on ABC News. I swear to y'all, I'm not making this shit up. They're talking. I was like, damn, it was meant for us, so we gotta talk about it. I meant to talk about it yesterday, but I was going through some shit, and I'm still going through some shit, but it's better. But so yeah, what do y'all think? Y'all remember this bus driver? Y'all remember this shit?
Yes.
Shorty's mom died looking for her daughter. Oh, that man who found her got McDonald's for life. He got paid. They tried to talk shit about him getting a reward. Fuck that shit. No, give him that shit. You know? What else? Do you remember this dude had the audacity to ask if he could see that shorty? Are you cool? One thing I did not know until today, y'all, and as much as I covered this case, I did not know Michelle was a midget. I was like, whoa. I didn't know. But it don't mean nothing, but I was just like, I didn't know. It's just crazy to me. And the thing about what happened 4 days ago is it's crazy. They remind me of Faith. Faith. Guess what they're doing, y'all? They're giving back. They're giving back, and they're seeing they want to help people, you know. So salute to them, man. Salute to them. And Amanda's daughter is 13 years old. We're gonna hear from her. Yeah, this motherfucking case. This one is a. I'll never forget this case. I'll never remember when she was running when they were about to get out. And I was like, I remember my heart was in my ass, y'all. And I was like, literally, that movie on Netflix. It was great, like the suspense, and I was like, come on, man, go, go, go. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, it's crazy. I wonder if she thinks, because I thought about it. All them times he left them alone, they were literally scared. They could have just banged down a window. You know what I'm saying? But they were. He put the fear of something in them. And he like kicked the baby. How many times old girl got pregnant, y'all? This one. And then the coward, guess what he did? He hangs himself. Should have known. Big M. You heard about on Ethel? They found them 3 old men. You heard?
Yeah, I was just watching that. That's what
They have a person in interest too.
yeah.
Dang, that shit crazy. The couple of the neighbors were like, keep my shit blurred out because they said it was about rug activity.
They was all old.
Huh?
They was all old.
65 to 72, right?
Yeah, one 84 or something like that. Yeah.
They said that they all had some rap sheets and things, and I was just like, wow, I want to know who the hell did it. Because they were trying to say serial, iller, and then, rugs, and, it's given rugs and robbery.
At 64 doing drugs.
No, they were selling them. Yeah, the neighbor, the one guy that, I was gonna play that. Let's listen to that first. Then we're gonna get into the dude, the one sick man, the bus driver in Cleveland.
Hang on a second. Curl me for that ultra? Curl you? So smooth.
And breaking right now at 5, Detroit police are searching for a suspect after 3 men are murdered inside a home. Now, police say the victims are men between 65 and 72 years old, and now police are looking for a person of interest in connection to their deaths.
This was the scene around this time yesterday as the victims were found inside a home on Edsel Street, and police are now asking for the public's help closing this case. Local 4's J. Scott Smith is live outside Detroit Police Headquarters, where he just spoke with police. And Jay, kind of just bring us up to speed. Tell us what they're telling you tonight.
Well, good evening, everybody. And honestly, this is just being seen as an unthinkable tragedy. We have started to get more of the grim details of what happened in that home in Southwest Detroit yesterday. And despite these 3 victims, as we found out that they've had lengthy rap sheets, friends and neighbors are remembering them as men who simply made a few bad decisions in their life, and they call this tragedy unthinkable.
Grew up with Norman. Norman was the same age as myself. Norman was a very good person. He really was.
Joel Bond spoke candidly about his friend, 66-year-old Norman Hamlin, one of the 3 men who was found dead inside this home on Edsel Street in Southwest Detroit on Wednesday.
He got sidetracked on some things. He went into the military, served his country, and it's just a tragedy as to what happened. It really is.
The first call came into police at 12:45 p.m. Wednesday afternoon. Officers from the 4th Precinct were sent to investigate a missing persons case. That missing person turned out to be Hamlin. When police arrived, a man came up to officers and said he had been assaulted.
He was assaulted the day before. He was hit with a hammer in the back of his head.
What police discovered next was horrifying.
We believe at this point they were all met the fate of blunt force trauma. There were some stab wounds on a couple of them. They were left in a basement area covered in old dirty clothing, and one person was covered in a carpet.
Hamlin, along with 2 other men, 72-year-old William Barrett and 65-year-old Mike Barnett, were found brutally murdered in the basement. Back on Edsel, neighbors such as this woman who wanted her identity concealed, as well as Bond, had noticed the home had become a hotspot for drug activity.
A good guy, quiet, good heart, just got tied up with the wrong people.
Seemed to have set up a safe environment for people to come over and use. over to the house. And of course, as we know, that's dangerous. You don't know who's coming into your house.
Police wouldn't confirm that these killings were drug-related, but Bond says he sadly felt this could be the end result.
Myself and other neighbors had the understanding that this cannot stand. This won't last. Something bad is going to happen, you know, and apparently it did.
Now, police also say that they think that these killings actually happened on either Tuesday evening or early Wednesday morning. They're still working through the details on that. Anybody with any information on the deaths of these three men are asked to either contact Crime Stoppers or to give a call to the Detroit Police Department. We're outside of Detroit Police Headquarters. I'm J. Scott Smith for Local 4.
Okay, you was right.
That's right down the way. Shit, that's scary on Ethel. Ethel is right around the corner. You know, I should again. Some shit's about to ramp up, y'all. A couple more days. Big M, I'm talking to you more about it on the back end. But yeah, I would have been on scene for sure. But I was held up with some business. But let's remember what happened to Amanda, Michelle, and Gina.
Remember when this story first came out? It was only one crime show out here.
Yeah, 2010. Shit, that was 26 years, almost 3 decades ago, folks. A fucking long time, right? Am I wrong or two?
No, just one. One and a half. Yeah, but we didn't have no crime. I forget think of the name of the show that they used to come on. Crime Watch. That was the only show we had was Crime Watch.
Yeah, I can picture the dude right now. Yeah, I remember exactly what you're talking about. I love that show.
I watched every episode.
Shit, I'll watch it. I'll watch it more. I think I've seen almost every episode, but I'm cool with that.
Me and my grandbabies did. You had to be quiet and sit down when that came on.
That part.
Well, it was nap time for you.
Website. A Spokio name search may tell you who your partner is getting close to. Spokio can also help you find.
Heard screaming. I meet my McDonald's. I come outside. I see this girl going nuts, trying to get out of her house. So I go on the porch. I go on the porch, and she says, "Help me get out. I've been in here a long time." So I figured it's a domestic violence dispute. So I open the door, and we can't get in that way because how the door is, it's so much that a body can't fit through, only your hand. So we kick the bottom, and she comes out with the little girl, and she says, call 911. My name was Amanda Berry.
Now, did you know who that was when she said that?
When she told me, it didn't register until I got the call in 911, and I'm like, I'm calling the 911 for Amanda Berry? I thought this girl was dead. You know what I mean? And she got on the phone, and she said, yes, this is me, and the detective, Cook, right here. Detective Gregory Cook says, Charles, do you know who you rescued? I said.
Now, and when did you see Gina?
About 5.
We're good. So
about 5 minutes after the police got here. See, the girl Amanda told the police, I ain't just the only ones. It's some more girls up in that house. So they went up there, 30, 40 deep, and when they came out was just astonishing, because I thought they were going to come up with nothing. I figured, whoever she was, and like I say, my neighbor, you got some big testicles to pull this off, bro, because we see this dude every day. Every day.
How long have you lived here?
I've been here a year.
Okay.
You see where I'm coming from?
Right.
I barbecue with this dude. We eat ribs and whatnot and listen to salsa music. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah. And you had no indication that there was anything going on?
Bro, not a clue that girl was in that house or anybody else was in there against their will, because how he is he just comes out to his backyard, plays with the dogs, tinker with his cars and motorcycles, goes back in the house. So he's somebody that you look away because he's not doing nothing but the average stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's nothing exciting about him. Well, until the day.
What was the reaction on the girls' faces? I can't imagine to see the sunlight, to be around people.
I knew something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran into a black man's arms. Something is wrong here. Dead giveaway.
Quite extraordinary interview there with a neighbour called only Charles, that's all we know him by the moment, who was right there when these extraordinary scenes happened today in Cleveland. 3 young missing women being found after a decade. We now have the 911 call of one of those women, Amanda Berry. She went missing 10 years ago when she was about to turn 17. This is her call to Cleveland police.
Cleveland 911.
Hello, please. Help me, I'm Amanda Berry.
You need police, fire, or ambulance?
I need police.
Okay, and what's going on there?
I've been kidnapped and I've been missing for 10 years, and I'm here. I'm free now.
Okay, and what's your address? Calling me from. Looks like you're calling me.
I can't hear you.
It looks like you were calling me from.
Across the street, I'm using the phone.
Okay, stay there with those neighbors. Talk to the police when they get there.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, talk to the police when they get there.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, talk to the police when they get there.
Okay, all right. I'm on the way right now.
We're going to send them as soon as we get a car open.
No, I need them now before we get back.
All right, we're sending them, okay?
Okay,
Who's the guy you're, who's the guy who went out?
His name.
All right, how old is he?
He's like 52.
All right, and
I'm Amanda Berry. I've been on the news for the last 10 years.
Okay, I got that here. I already.
Gina.
And you said, what was his name again? And is he white, black, or Hispanic?
He's Hispanic.
What's he wearing?
I don't know, because he's not here right now. That's
when he left, what was he wearing?
Sweetheart, it's okay. What?
Right, the police are on the way. Talk to them when they get there. Okay?
I
told you they're on the way. Talk to them when they get there, okay?
All right, okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Build a website you love with Wix. For your words, create your brand.
He was rude.
If they wrote this into a cop.
Yeah, rude ain't the word. That shit's crazy, dude. This is America, y'all.
Show plot, you would roll your eyes and scoff. 3 missing women, gone since they were girls, found alive together a decade later in the same Cleveland house. 3 brothers in their 50s taken as suspects. We can't imagine what these women went through. Can't imagine the pain the families have endured through the candlelight vigils, the false leads, the searches involving jackhammers and cadaver dogs. But maybe tonight we can share in their surreal joy. Tonight was one for the believers. The posters have been part of Cleveland's landscape for a decade. The weathered or tattered ones replaced again and again by families who refuse to give up, who refuse to stop praying for a moment.
Shell Baby says yes, he was, and I don't think he realized who she really is. Yeah, I don't think he knew who she was either. I mean, but I mean, at least he gets McDonald's for free for you know, the rest of his life, I think.
Like this.
Help me, I'm Amanda Berry.
You need police, fire, or ambulance.
I need police.
Okay, and what's going on there?
I've been kidnapped and I've been missing for 10 years and I'm here, I'm free now.
That is the voice of Amanda Berry calling 911 tonight. The last time anyone in her family heard that voice, she was a day shy of turning 17. Called her sister to say she was catching a ride home from her job at Burger King, and then she vanished.
That was the last I ever heard from her, not an answer after that.
Tonight, she is 27 years old and free, thanks in part to police who got an ovation on this Cleveland street, and thanks in large part to a passing neighbor named Charles Ramsey, who had the compassion to respond to her cries for help.
And I look and I see this girl, and she just going nuts on the door. So I'm like, what's your problem? You stuck, just open the door. And she says, I can't, he got it locked. And I look how he has it, and it's only enough to reach a hand out to grab the mail and, you know, close the door. And we, you know, naturally gonna pry it open. That didn't work, so we had to kick open the bottom. Luckily on that door was aluminum, it was cheap. And she climbed out with her daughter. She went to my house, we called 911.
That's right. He said Amanda escaped with her daughter, a report that brings back chilling memories of J.C. Dugard, who gave birth to 2 daughters while being held by her kidnappers for over 18 years.
When these girls were abducted, that they went into this environment with a person or persons and probably were held against their will for a period of time, but then that world becomes their reality.
But aside from her little girl, Amanda Berry had others in the house to worry about tonight.
About 5 minutes after the police got here, see, the girl Amanda told the police, I ain't just the only ones, it's some more girls up in that house. So they went up there, you know, 30, 40 deep, and when they came out, was just astonishing.
For these officers that have been working these cases for all these years, it was just amazing to see the emotion on these seasoned law enforcement officers when they went in there and saw Amanda and Gina and Michelle.
Yes, inside the home, they also found Georgina de Jesus, who also went missing from this very neighborhood 9 years ago, walking home from a middle school a few blocks from where Amanda disappeared. Tonight, that little girl on FindGeorgina.com is 23 years old. And they also found Michelle Knight, who went missing in 2000, but since she was 20 at the time, didn't get as much attention as the younger girls. But all 3 are getting much loving attention at Metro Health Medical Center.
Currently, they're safe. We're in the process of evaluating their medical needs. They appear to be in fair condition at the moment.
We love you, Amanda. Is she all right?
How happy is this for you, though, to have 3 people that have survived?
This is really good because this isn't the ending we usually hear to these stories, so we're very happy. We're very happy for them.
Now attention turns to the kind of person or persons who could have held prisoners like this for so long. Police will only say they have 3 Hispanic men in custody, ages 50 to 54, but our sources tell us they are brothers. The middle brother's name, Ariel Castro, and according to his neighbor, he lived a life far above suspicion.
We see this dude every day. I mean, every day.
How long have you lived here?
I've been here a year.
Okay.
You shouldn't come around.
Right.
I barbecue with this dude. We eat ribs and whatnot and listen to salsa music. You shouldn't come around.
Yeah. And you had no indication that there was anything going on?
Bro, not a clue. that that girl was in that house, or anybody else was in there against their will, because how he is he just comes out to his backyard, plays with the dogs, tinker with his cars and motorcycles, goes back in the house. So he's somebody that you look away because he's not doing nothing but the average stuff. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing exciting about him. Well, until the day.
What an amazing account from an amazing character we'll be hearing more about, certainly. But we're going to turn now to a man who knows all too well what it's like to lose a child, wait for that child. John Walsh, longtime host of America's Most Wanted, joins us from our bureau in Washington. John, any night they can solve 3 missing persons cases and go home with smiles is an amazing night. What was your reaction when you heard?
Bill, incredible. What a great night. 3 women are back alive. And a little girl that may have been a creation of the kidnapper and the abductor. I wanted to do cartwheels. I know what it's like not to know where your child is. I went through that horrible pain, and I still think it's wonderful that I at least found parts of Adam. But what a night. I could do cartwheels. It's just an incredible, wonderful thing.
And I know you want to sing the praises of Charles Ramsey, who is already the darling of the internet with the most colorful sound bites of this whole story so far. But this guy saved 3 lives.
I saw it firsthand in the 25 years I've been doing America's Most Wanted. The public wants to help. They don't know how to help. They have the guts to help me catch 1,200 bad guys and recover 60 missing children. Here's Charles Ramsey walking home. As he said so succinctly, I'm a black guy. I saw a white woman crying for help, and I went to help her and broke her out. Amanda Berry saved her life, 2 other women's lives, and their child. And Charles Ramsey is the guy that broke him out of that house of horrors. If I ever meet him, I'm going to give him the biggest hug.
It would have been so easy for him to just keep his head down and go home, but he didn't. And let me ask you, as an investigator, what would you be looking for in terms of the suspect in this case, his methods and motives?
Certainly, everybody thinks it's the pervert under the bridge with the trench coat. I've done so many of these cases where it's just the guy next door. It's just the guy that seems like he's okay. What amazed me is how he could keep 3 grown women and a child in that house without some point in 10 years, one of them being able to contact somebody. But now sources say that his 2 brothers have been arrested. We all wondered if he had help. How do you keep 3 grown women and a child in a house in a neighborhood and that they're never seen? So this would make a lot of sense if he had help. If his 2 brothers helped him run this house of horrors and keep these 3 women and that child there for 10 years, I hope they burn in hell.
Well, it's something we'll be following in coming days. And as we said at the top, this one was one for the hopeful tonight. It's so great to have a moment of victory after all those years of tragedy, talking about other stories that don't go as well. John Walsh, thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Her screaming. I meet my McDonald's. I come outside. I see this girl going nuts, trying to get out of her house. So I go on the porch.
Despite the 937 counts against him, Ariel Castro was defiant, almost rebellious in court, claiming he never beat or tortured the 3 women he held captive for a decade.
I'm not a monster. I'm a normal person. I am just sick. I have an addiction, just like an alcoholic has an addiction.
An addiction to sex, Castro said, the result, he claimed, of having been a victim himself of sex acts as a child. In one of the
937 charges. Wow. He says, I'm not a monster. I'm sick. Shut the fuck up.
more breathtaking moments he held captive for a decade.
I'm not a monster. I'm a normal person. I am just sick.
Beat or tortured the 3 women he held captive for a decade.
I'm not a monster. I'm a normal person. I am just sick.
Claiming he never beat or tortured the 3 women he held captive for a decade.
I'm not a monster. I'm a normal person. I am just sick. I have an addiction, just like an alcoholic has an addiction.
An addiction to sex, Castro said, the result, he claimed, of having been a victim himself of sex acts as a child. In one of the more breathtaking moments at his sentencing, the man who pleaded guilty to multiple counts of rape said this about his victims.
Most of the sex that went on in the house, and probably all of it, was consensual. These allegations about being forceful on the.
I know you motherfucking lying.
That is totally wrong. Because there was times that they would even ask me for sex, many times.
A staggering claim balanced against photos the prosecution revealed in court. Chains, ties, even a motorcycle helmet that police say was placed on at least one victim when she was sexually assaulted. A door rigged with an alarm clock to signal Castro if someone was trying to get out. Showing a model of his home, officials said he'd reconfigured the house to keep the women hidden. Even with the presentation of this huge trove of evidence, Ariel Castro was still bold enough to interrupt the judge several times. This exchange was over the aggravated murder charge.
There was never no evidence of me murderizing a fetus. That never happened.
Mr. Castro, you talked with your attorneys and you made a decision to plead to count one as indicted, correct?
I just want to clear the record. I never killed anyone, and I am not a murderer.
The only victim to appear, Michelle Knight, who said she spent, quote, 11 years in hell.
Days never got shorter. Days turns into nights. Nights turns into days. Years turn into eternity.
Knight has told police she was pregnant at least 5 times, but was starved and punched until she eventually miscarried. DNA tests have confirmed Castro is the father of Amanda Berry's young daughter. When we were in Cleveland at the time of the women's rescue, a source familiar with the investigation told CNN that when Berry went into labor, Castro ordered Michelle Knight to deliver the child. The baby was delivered in a plastic tub or pool to contain the mess. And the source says once the child was born, there were moments of horror and panic. The child stopped breathing, according to the source. Everyone screamed. And Ariel Castro allegedly threatened to kill Michelle Knight if the baby didn't survive. According to a police report, Michelle Knight said she breathed into the child's mouth to keep her alive. The evidence that the women were bound, that chains and ropes were in the home, is consistent with the accounts of Fernando Colon. He was engaged to Gramilda Figueroa, Ariel Castro's ex-wife, until her death last year. Colon told me Castro would beat Figueroa mercilessly, sometimes with barbells, and
she told me that she was locked in that house. He had tinted the windows. She had padlocked the doors. The only time that she was able to come out was for her appointments. That was it.
In court today, Ariel Castro denied beating his ex-wife, saying she would escalate arguments and get physical with him, that he only reacted by putting hands on her. We do have to say Fernando Colon could have motivation for accusing Ariel Castro. Colon was convicted of molesting 2 of Castro's children several years ago. He has long said that he is innocent. He claims that Ariel Castro orchestrated the charges against him to deflect attention from Castro's own crimes. Colon is now planning to appeal his conviction. Wolf.
And the judge, Michael Russo, he did make reference to the very chilling way that Castro enticed these 3 women before he kidnapped them.
He did. Judge Michael Russo mentioned that all 3 of the victims had previously been friends with at least 2 of Castro's daughters or his son. Now, we had been told by a private investigator in Cleveland when we were there that one of Castro's daughters would go to shopping with one of the victims, Gina DeJesus, go to festivals with her, and that apparently appears now to be Castro's entry into this. This is how he maneuvered his way to get.
Dang, I didn't know that part. Or I forgot.
Close to those victims.
Anderson Cooper 360, weeknights at 8 and 10 on CNN.
All these weird things that I've noticed over the years, like about, how he kept his house locked down so tight, certain areas, and, how if we'd be out at my grandma's having dinner, he would disappear for, for an hour or so and then come back, and there would be no explanation where he went. Like, everything's making sense now. It's all adding up. And I'm disgusted. I'm horrified.
Did you ever try to get into that basement?
Not since when I was very young, when my mom was still living there. I did pick the locks on the basement, because there was a cheap master lock on the door. Picked the lock and we went snooping. And I remember there being a fish tank down there. which was odd because there was nobody down there to look at the fish.
Did you ever see any signs of a 6-year-old there?
I never saw signs in the house. I never saw, her with him. But about 2 months ago, he picked me up. We spent the afternoon together. I just had some service on my car. And he showed me a picture that was in his cell phone randomly. And he said, "Look at this cute little girl." It was a face shot. And I said, "She's cute. Who is that?" And he said, "This is my girlfriend's child." And I said, "Dad, that girl looks like Emily. Emily's my younger sister." And he said, "No, that's not my child. That's my girlfriend's child by somebody else."
Your family is attached to this stigma. What is the message that you want to tell people that they might not understand?
That my father's actions are not a reflection of everyone in the family. They're definitely not a reflection of myself or my children. We don't have Munster in our blood.
You never want to talk to your dad again?
No. I have no problem cutting him out of my life. I have no problem doing that. I never want to see him again. And another thing that I would like to ask him is, when did you think this was going to be over? How did you think it was going to end? You're 52 years old. Did you think that you can carry this charade forever? What did you think that was going to happen? And eventually you would have been caught. And then what of these girls? What of your family? You didn't care.
What message do you have for these girls? They're safe now. They're no longer there, but they were held captive and their whole lives were turned upside down. I mean, what message do you have for these women and their families?
I feel so much sorrow that you had to endure this. I'm glad that you're back home with your family finally, because they never stopped thinking about you. They never forgot you. They always thought you were alive when everybody else thought you were gone. I also feel sorrow that Michelle's case, because I'm just now hearing about her too, that her case was, treated differently because she was an adult when she came up missing. Like it's real tragic because she was taken against her will as well, and it's sickening. It's sickening because that could be anybody in that position. In a blink of an eye, you can be abducted, brutalized, and nobody would ever know it. You could be right around the corner and nobody would ever know it. This just goes to show.
Do you want to see them at all? Would you like to see them at any point?
I would love to see them. I would love to see the little girl Jocelyn, but I don't want to pressure them at all. And that's maybe further down the road. Maybe it'll be a possibility. I would really love that, but right now these girls need to heal.
They are the 3 brave women who survived years of captivity in a house of horrors. Now they are rebuilding their lives, says GMA's Robin Roberts.
These 3 women, and I don't say this lightly, amazing.
In Trapped, a special 2-hour 2020 airing tonight, survivor Amanda Berry talks about the child she had with Ariel Castro, the monster who held her captive for 10 years. Her daughter Jocelyn just turned 13 on Christmas Day.
What was it like for you, Amanda, when you looked in her eyes for the first time?
It was amazing because she was so quiet and she was just the most beautiful.
It's very difficult for her because she loves her daughter, of course. There's no difficulty there, but knowing who her father is, what he was, and to know that as Jocelyn is getting older, she's finding out more and more, and how she's delicately handling that, but loves her daughter more than life itself. You hear of rape victims who have a child. How do you just wrap your mind around it and make it work?
This is his kid. How do I feel about that? And she resembled him a lot. And I would look at her and I just felt like, she's mine. She's mine.
Amanda escaped from the squalid house of horrors in Cleveland 7 years ago.
I'm Amanda Berry. I've been on the news for the last 10 years.
Police rescued Amanda, Gina DeJesus, and Michelle Knight.
What is the relationship like between the three of them, among the three of them? What is that?
That is the question. And they were very honest about it. You would think they said that it's supposed to be a sisterhood, but then is it Ariel Castro did a mastermind on them, pitted them against each other. So for a decade, they're fending for themselves pretty much. And so even though they're released, and of course they're very happy, are they supposed to automatically be a sisterhood?
So he gets you in this room. What did he tie you up with?
One of those orange extension cords. I was tied up like a fish, an ornament on the wall. That's the only way I can describe it. I was hanging like this, my feet, and I was tied by my neck and my arms with the extension cord going like that.
Oh my God. So he tied your hands and feet and also around your neck and hung you. Did you fight him at the time?
At the time, no, because I was shocked.
You panicked, just froze?
Yeah, and the only thing I can do is cry, begging him, let me go back to my son.
What did you say to him?
I said, please don't do this to me. And he said again, you can't take me back. And then he threw money at me.
What was the significance of him throwing money at you?
He was obsessed with prostitutes. And also he thought I was a 13-year-old prostitute. When he found out my real age, he got mad.
I mean, this was such a sick, demented man.
He not only brutalized Michelle physically.
Good afternoon, I'm Leon Bibb. Beginning with breaking news out of Cleveland, Ariel Castro speaks in court during a hearing asking to see his 6-year-old daughter. News Channel 5's Kristen Volk is here with more on the story.
Yeah, Leon, that judge denied Castro's request, saying it was inappropriate to see Jocelyn, the daughter he had with Amanda Berry. Castro also asked to see his other children during today's pretrial hearing, and the judge told him he would look into it. This comes as the court says Castro is competent to stand trial. Jury selection begins August 5th. And now in preparation for that trial, prosecutors say they'll file a superseding, all-encompassing indictment. That indictment will include all charges for the entire time Castro was accused of holding 3 women captive in his Cleveland home, which is about a decade. What also may be included in that indictment are capital murder charges. Now, it wasn't until the very end of the nearly 20-minute hearing today that Castro asked to see Jocelyn. And when he did ask, he kept his head down, spoke softly, and seemingly got a bit emotional.
Mr. Castro, what's the issue?
If you can please reiterate on contact with my child.
I can't hear you. You want me to readdress the issue of contact with your child?
Yes.
Are you referring to the minor child?
Yes, please.
I won't be allowing that. Not during the pendency of this case. I just think that that would be inappropriate.
Castro's next pretrial is scheduled for 3 weeks from today. On your side, I'm Kristen Volk, News Channel 5.
The man who's confessed to these crimes, Ariel Castro. His daughter, Arlene Castro, joins us now. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Arlene, you were probably the last person to see Gina DeJesus alive. What was your reaction when you learned that your father confessed to holding her captive for so many years?
I would have to say I'm really disappointed, embarrassed, just mainly devastated about this whole situation.
When was the last time you spoke to your father?
It was late last month.
And had you been in regular contact with him, and had you had any kind of inkling at all that something like this could be going on inside his home?
No, I had no idea. Me and my father were never really that close. Every time we would talk, it would just be short conversations and just a hello, how are you doing, and let me know if you need anything, and that was it every time.
And did you ever meet the little girl, Jocelyn?
No, I've never met her before.
In terms of violence in the home, did you ever witness that?
Oh, no, never, never.
And what would you like to say to Gina, her family, and the other women now?
I would like to say I'm absolutely so sorry. I really want to see you, Gina, and I want you to meet my kids. I'm so sorry for everything.
Ms. Jackson says this was one sick puppy, and I believe his family had a clue. Yeah, this one is crazy. Miss Jackson, hey, I know you're for real.
Hey, Miss Jackson. I don't think his family had a clue because he didn't really have people in the house.
Real quick, let's hold on, let me put this down. Everybody, what's your thoughts real quick? Cause we're gonna be I got one more video, and then yeah, but I want to see before we end it. So what are your thoughts, Big M, Shell Baby, if you're in here still? What do y'all think about how these ladies are giving back? And I think they're fucking strong like Faith. These are some strong women, man. Salute to these humble, strong queens.
Yeah, salute to them. I really think they're very strong of giving back because, yeah, they went through a lot. I mean, just think 10 years.
Right? I can't imagine a decade being held captive. Like, beat and just, taken advantage of and just, oh, man. But I wonder, yeah, obviously, yeah, those three girls, they all stayed close. And I find it kind of ironic how she says, I didn't really know my dad, but he knew enough about you to know that he wanted Gina. And Gina and her kind of look alike, man. It's weird. They look a lot alike. But yeah, let's keep listening.
Everything.
Well, thank you for coming on, sharing that message this morning. I know this has been a hard few days for you.
Sure.
This week in our Missing series, we are doing something a little different, revisiting a case of 3 young women who disappeared on the streets of Cleveland. Abducted and missing for nearly 9, 10, and 11 years until one of the women, Amanda Berry, escaped, liberating all 3 of these women and the young child that Berry gave birth to while in captivity. Their horrific tale taking a turn now that the women have taken back their lives, closing in on a dozen years free. 2207.
That part, super amazing, super strength. These women, oh man, they have some strength.
Seymour Avenue held its evil secret for more than a decade. Windows blocked, interior doors barricaded, until a spring day in 2013 and a daring escape.
Help me, I'm Amanda Berry. I've been kidnapped and I've been missing for 10 years and I'm here, I'm free now.
Amanda Berry, Gina De Jesus, and Michelle Knight, 14, 16, and 20 years old when they were abducted in Cleveland and held captive for years.
And I look and I see this girl and she just going nuts on the door.
The nation and the world horrified by the atrocities these young women endured. Amanda Berry becoming pregnant and giving birth in captivity. Her own mother passing away without knowing she made it out alive.
I'm very happy because I got to come home that day. It's just very sad because I thought I would come home to my mom and I didn't get a chance to do that. So that's one of the things that hurt.
Seeing the house on Seymour Avenue demolished and witnessing their captor, Ariel Castro, sentenced to life in prison, just the beginning of the healing.
After 11 years, I'm finally being heard, and it's liberating.
In the beginning, everybody used to come up to me and was like, and tell me, oh, we've been helping your mom, we've been looking for you, and they would want hugs and want pictures.
A dozen years later, each of the women focused on helping other families in similar anguish.
How are you again? My goodness.
Amanda Berry joining the reporting ranks at Cleveland's Fox 8 News with a missing series spotlighting cases just like hers.
I know life probably would have been a little bit easier if I would have just stayed to myself, but I feel like this is like what I'm supposed to do. Like what I went through was to help the rest of the families that are going through it now.
Gina and her cousin Sylvia launching a nonprofit, Cleveland Missing, operating not far from what was once dubbed Cleveland's House of Horrors.
I am a survivor, and Seymour doesn't bother me, and I want other people to not give up on hope and be a survivor just like me.
We're the only ones that have a bricks and mortar building in the country where families can actually come to it and sit and be with one another.
The space hosts families who are searching, support groups, law enforcement, and media interviews in a way that's respectful to loved ones in pain.
We know what it feels like, right, because of our missing loved one. But it takes time. You know, even if the person's been missing for 24 hours, if it's a kid or an adult, I always say life really is never the same. How could it be?
Sonny and Cody.
Michelle Knight, now known as Lily Rose Lee, is married and has built her own nonprofit, caring for injured animals.
God put me on this earth to connect humans and animals in a special way. Always believe in hope.
The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children giving Amanda and Gina its Courage Award when they marked 10 years of freedom. All three women turning a horrific tragedy into selfless service.
I think that you can let it unravel you, and it's okay if it unravels you. You don't want to do anything. These three women just decided that they were going to deal with their trauma this way. But there have been many people who've been abducted, who've been, you know, it's been a big story, and they go away into the quiet and lead a very quiet life. And I think that's okay too.
The U.S. Marshals gave both Amanda Berry and Gina De Jesus the Attorney General's Award for their outstanding contribution to public safety. It is believed they have had a role in bringing countless numbers of missing people back home. If you have a missing case that you would like for us to look into,
listen, y'all. That is a fuck. I almost started crying, like literally. Y'all know I'm sensitive. I'm a baby. They get me like, hey, stop crying. Like, but that's amazing, yo. Like in the receiver ward, like to fucking like I'm gonna leave this right here. It's amazing they didn't lose their mind. Too fucking shay. Like, amen. Salute to those ladies, yo. Any last thoughts, folks?
Yeah, it's amazing they didn't go crazy, because I think 10 years, I would have been in them. I don't know.
Trying to think, like, okay, so April 28th will be 10 years since my first love was unalived in a car accident, and it hasn't, you know, it's coming up, so it still hasn't been a full 10 years. I could not imagine captivity for 10. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's a different type of captivity, but yeah, this shit, the captives, like, did you hear how she was tied? The baby, man, 10 years, 11, 9, it's crazy work. These stupid ass neighbors, yo, I'm about to call animal control. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them. I'm sorry. But yeah, y'all, this was a miracle. A lot of these stories don't have a happy ending like this, you know. A super duper actually happy ending, because not only did they get justice, they've excelled, they've grown, and they've overcome. you know, and that's hard, you know. So, kudos to them, salute to them. I'm gonna check out their organizations and stuff. That's really cool, like for real, for real. You know, some victims, I'm sorry to say, that you gotta become a survivor, not, you can't always be a victim, at one point, you gotta become a survivor. I'm gonna just say that, and that's just my opinion. Does not mean it is true or facts or the truth, but yeah, I think a lot of us are survivors out here,
Yes, ma'am.
All right, y'all. Well, we finna end it like I always do in my Winnie the Poohski voice, you are smarter than you think. You're braver than you believe. And you're stronger than you seem. I feel it in my heart and soul every time. It's all love over here, y'all. It's real, real over here, y'all. Until next time, y'all, be real smooth with it. Be real cool with it. And most importantly, as true as you can be with it. Big M.
Peace.
What the heck? I don't know why I did that. Do it again.
Peace.
I told y'all she does it way better than I did. I tried to, do your piece in the earlier demonstration. But yeah, y'all, this is America. Welcome to Detroit. We're going to keep breaking it down. Good night. God bless. Salute, 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 salute. In my big M voice, y'all. Peace.